Okay, good morning, everyone. I don't see anyone else here right now, but I know some of you are going to be joining me. And I'm just going to set my timer, and I'm going to do this in 15-minute segments. So good morning and welcome to the Vision Board workshop training. And I'm doing this because so many people have asked me about my process. So I'm just setting my timer here. So that's why I'm looking down and not looking at you. All right, we'll do it in 15-minute segments. So I'm Pat Michaud, and I wanted to walk through my process of how I create the vision for my life so that I live intentionally and life does not just pass me by. And so here we go. It is a very simple process. And as I mentioned on my video that got sent out to many of you, I know that you've been to vision board workshops. They're great, they're powerful, they're a wonderful tool. But you need to surround that with 3 other steps, I believe, to bring that vision board to life. And so what do I mean by that? On the Facebook page, I posted the life balance wheel for you. That's what it looks like. And so that's where it all starts. And I do this twice a year. It doesn't necessarily mean January and July. I do it twice a year. So for me right now, because of some major changes going on, I decided this was the week where I want to sit back, reflect, and really get a grip on what do I want my life to look like and feel like over the next 6 months. So the first step in the whole process that I do is I get the life balance wheel. Now, you can get a copy of this if you Google life balance wheel. You're going to see all kinds of versions. I keep it simple. And here's what I do with it. First thing, date it. See the date? October 2018. So you want to date your balance wheel. Second part is when this is blank, so picture it blank, for example, and the one I shared with you had titles on it. Here's the thing. Some of those titles or categories are not going to be relevant for you. So, for example, at the top, it shows marriage. I changed marriage to read relationships. For me, again, at the top, over here it said career. For me, I changed it to read business. So take a look at the titles, and if you don't have a title for every spoke, that's fine. But I would say for the most part, majority of these fit into our life. Now, this is going to vary for those of you who are on here who might be in your 20s, those of you in your 40s, those of you like me in your 60s. Things are going to change, and that's okay. And I say that because, for example, community service, you know what? I did 30 years of community service, and the no regrets, it was fabulous. A lot of years on the local, provincial, and national board of directors for the Alzheimer's Society. And it was relevant at the time because my mother-in-law had Alzheimer's disease. I was involved over a 10-year period in Western Canada with United Way as a committee member, cabinet member, board member, volunteer. I went in and did strategic consulting with their executive team. So I've done my time. I feel good about it. And now I'm very choosy about where I spend my time. So those are some examples. Now, what do? You go into the middle here, and that is where you would number 1. So we're going to do this on a scale of 1 to 10. Based on today, a snapshot of today, October, where are we? October 18th. Snapshot today on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 to 10, 1 to 10. Where are you in your life? What does it look like and feel like today? So what you do is take your pen and just put a mark as you mark them on a scale of 1 to 10. This one is really low when it comes to relationships, and I'll explain that in a bit. And there's another really low one here, and that's with family, and I'll explain that in a bit. Anyway, put your little mark and rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being way out here, 1 being the center. Put your mark and then connect the dots like I did. Just connect the dots, and you're going to see what your wheel looks like. And how's that feeling as you ride through life? Now, once you've connected the dots, I encourage you, grab a bunch of colored pencils, different colors. I choose certain colors for certain categories. I just lost the cap to the pink one. And so then color them in. So you see visually, bam, what does that look like? That's the first step in the whole process. So you're going to want to sit back and look at that. Now, the temptation, when you look at a life balance wheel at a glance, is you want to perhaps look at the ones that are closer to 1. Well, not necessarily so, because I don't necessarily, when it comes to, well, where I'm at right now, yes, relationships, that is one of my priorities. But when it comes to something like, oh, let's say, mental health is a lower one, and that's because I always believe that we can always grow mentally. And for me, looking at potential dementia or Alzheimer's or some kind of mental whatever going on, I'm very focused on that. And so I stay active. I always keep learning. I do online word games. I watch Wheel of Fortune or Jeopardy to challenge myself. That's my mental health, if you will. And because for me, I want to stay alert. My mom was alert to the day she died at age 89. I want to be like that. So I want to feed my brain and keep mental wellness at the top of it. However, that again, that doesn't mean that the lower ones are necessarily the category you pick to work on. So for me, my focus right now is health, wealth, and happiness. And when I talk about health, I'm talking about my physical health. So those are the colors and the categories for me. So happiness is yellow. It just speaks to me. Wealth is green. Where's my wealth here? Financial. Wealth is green. And when it comes to the health, I put that in an orangey, pinky kind of color. So step 1, download the form, take a look at, date it on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the center, the core, on a scale of 1 to 10. Once you've labeled your spokes, then what you're going to do is just tag it and see, just looking to see who else is here with me, and see where you're at on that scale. And then connect the dots, color in, so you get a strong visual of where you're at and what your life looks like. All right, step number 1. Now, step number 2 is to pick 3 categories that you want to work on. And I say 3 because you look at your life balance wheel. I mean, we look at life in general these days. Oh my gosh, majority of people are feeling overwhelmed, overextended, they don't know how to say no, unhappy, overweight, and feeling like they have no control in their life. So if we were to look at the whole balance wheel, it's just too overwhelming. And so the practice I've developed, and I've been doing this for close to 20 years, if not more, is to focus on 3 areas. Everybody can focus on 3 areas for a 6-month period. Because again, progress in any area is progress in the bigger picture. So I picked health, wealth, and happiness. What 3 areas are you going to choose? That's the first step. Now, once you've identified that, that's what gets transferred over to a vision board. The reason you want to be clear on that first is so then you know when you go looking for pictures or phrases or expressions to put on that vision board that it actually is in alignment with where your life is and where you feel and believe and intend to go over the next 6 months. So once you've got that clear in your head, then get a bunch of magazines together and sit back, make this a fun project. Do it for yourself first, then do it as a couple if you're in a relationship, and then do it as a family. I used to do this at family retreats and the kids love it. But first you've got to do your own first. You've got to get your life in order. You've got to figure out who you are and what you want. And if the case is you're a leader of a family, share this with the family so they too know what's important to you. Then once you've got that established, you bring your full self to a family vision board. Let the kids get in on this. Teach the kids this practice at a young age. They're very capable, they're very smart, and they'll catch on. So let me grab mine, it's on the floor here. All right, so you know that I'm talking about 3 categories, right? Health, wealth, and happiness. So get yourself a piece of bristle board. I chose yellow this year. Last year, it was a vibrant pink. The year before, or the time before that, I think it was a red. So pick a vibrant color. They're $1 at the dollar store. So get yourself a piece of bristle board. At the top, we get this right here. Date it. This is for 2018, 2019. And my theme is to live my best life. Pick a theme for your life. And as I said, take a look at this. You're going to see it does represent health, for sure, We've got wealth in there. Where's my money pictures? Oh, they're right there. There's some of the money pictures around that. And the happiness, a lot of it I noticed when I was creating this, a lot of it is around travel. So I've got reference to travel, and I've got the type of things I like to do. I like to go to April Wash. I like bicycle. I love pretty luggage. This guy here, this is my mate, my attraction thing for a life partner, a companion. But again, my intention is to go to Norway this year. And so see, just some of the kind of pictures, some of the kinds of words that I picked. And listen, I'm being pretty vulnerable here and transparent, so you see what's coming up in my life. But that's okay. You can hold me accountable. So you get the idea. Here's healthy eating and some of the words that I am going to have this now on the wall right here behind my computer. And I'm going to look at this when I'm in my office all day long. Here's the other thing that I do. I take a picture of this and I put it on the wallpaper on my phone. So when I'm not in my office, anytime I turn my phone on, this is what I see. So this needs to be in your face, in your face, in your face all the time. Make it colorful, make it emotional. You can look at some of the pictures here and you can almost feel the emotion in it. Here, it's being able to, this is awkward. It's being able to say you've been to the end of the world and dipped your toes in the ocean. Now, I'm 67 years old. I want to be able to say that I've been to the end of the world because I love to travel. And so make it emotionally charged, fill it up with great pictures, pictures that really speak to you. Don't compromise here. And then get this and keep it visible. Now, when you're doing a personal vision board, you only share this with people who are going to support you. This is different for me because I want to teach you and help you learn some of the tools and techniques, because people say to me, it seems that you live pretty intentionally. You've got your boundaries, you've got your discipline. Yeah, because I'm pretty clear on what I want. And like I said, I've been doing it for over 20 years. This has worked well for me. There's some major life transition. When I was going through my separation and divorce, I had a vision board, and the primary thing, it was interesting, it was around travel, because my ex-husband didn't like to travel a whole lot. And so I knew in leaving the marriage, what would feed my soul, which had become dead, I wanted to revive my soul, feed my soul, live my best life. Travel was essential. So one of the things I did that when I moved here, take a look over here, talk about visuals. This is a world map. It's a big world out there. And what I have been able to attract and create and experience has been a trip around the world on a private plane, not once, not twice, but 3 years in the short amount of time since I moved here to Ontario. 3 times around the world, private plane, first class, 5-star accommodation. Why do I tell you this? Because what you think about can come about when you apply these principles. And visuals are so powerful. So I have the world map there, and it says, life takes you to unexpected places and love brings you home. Now, I take pictures. Those of you who follow me on social media, you know I take a lot of pictures. See the pictures there? I have pictures of all the places I've been to. There's Sedona, there's California at Linda Claire Puig's place. There's Panama City in Florida, sharing time with a friend at her condo. This one is Banff in the mountains, the Rocky Mountains in Alberta. But this one is my tango lesson in Argentina. I spent a month in Argentina. This is Uruguay with my friend Mariana, who invited us there. So on the beaches at Uruguay. This is one of my favorites in Nepal, Kathmandu, and it was a celebration of the dogs, and I just thought that was so special. So the point being, see up here, I've been to Egypt, and what's that one there? Oh, that was my cycling tour right there of Tuscany right after my marriage. I thought, where do I want to go? And Eat, Pray, Love had just come out. And so I wanted to have that experience. So I did my own Eat, Pray, Love trip. And so I cycled Tuscany. This one here was back to my birthplace in Prince Edward Island. I went on a mini retreat with some of my friends, which was so cool, with Sandy and Carrie and Kathy. I was standing in the water. My mom was born in Prince Edward Island. So when I go there, I really feel her presence. And out of the blue, in the crystal clear water, this feather came down. There wasn't even a bird around. There wasn't even a seagull around. This feather appeared. That was my mom, I know. And so it continues, right? So this is in Egypt, outside of Egypt. This is Angkor Wat in Cambodia. This is in Vietnam. What else have I got here? India. And so it goes. I mean, it's a big world. So some people say, why are there blank spaces? Well, because I have more travel to do. And so if I had that filled up, as far as my mind was concerned, I'm done. But I'm not done. So keep the visuals around you. And I look at this all the time. And first of all, I celebrate what I've been able to accomplish. Many people do not do that in life. You want to stop and celebrate and keep that in front of you. Don't keep the pictures in an album or in a phone. Get them out. Oh, all right, 15 minutes. And so get them out and have some fun with this. And I love to live a visual life. I'm going to set this again for another 15 minutes. Time flies. I'm a very visual person, and I believe most of you are too. And your kids certainly are. I know from my coaching experience, I've done life coaching, I do business coaching, and now I do lifestyle coaching. I know people don't have a vision for their life. They don't have a vision for their marriage, and they're just going day by day. And before you know it, I've heard people say, oh my gosh, it's October already. Oh my gosh, it's almost the new year already. Don't let life go by like that. Take responsibility, take charge, create the vision, and do not get caught up. Here's one of the areas I'm moving into goal setting now. You want to take those 3 categories that really speak to you. Health, wealth, and happiness really speak to me right now. At age 67 in Ontario, when I left my marriage with literally nothing. And so I'm rebuilding my life. It takes time to rebuild. I was married for 22 years. It takes time to rebuild that. I have 3 years left to contribute to my retirement plan, the RRSP. I'll be hustling. And so that's intentional. That's where the wealth component comes in. The health component, if I don't take care of my health, health is my wealth. If I don't take care of my health, then nothing else matters. Nothing else is going to happen. And my personal happiness is my responsibility. I went through days and weeks and months and years of waiting for people to celebrate my birthday, plan a party, give me a gift, acknowledge my achievements. You know what? People are so self-absorbed these days. You need to learn to do it for yourself. You want to take charge of your own happiness. All right, so you've done the life balance wheel. You've moved it on over to a vision board. You make it visually appealing, compelling, exciting. Create visions around your world, your home space, your office space, and what really brings you joy. And it can be in the forms of pictures. This is a beautiful picture my friend Kate got me in New York City. Fearless woman. That's how she sees me. She gave me that when I first moved here. I keep that there at times when I'm taking giant leaps. All right, let's talk about goal setting, because again, on the vision board, I asked you and invite you to choose 3 categories. Everybody can focus on 3. All right, what do we do next? Next is we set the goals. But see, the vision board piece is where most people stop, and they just sit and they look at it, internalize it, some meditate on it. That's all cool and great. That's not moving you into achievement though. So I want you to be thinking about those 3 categories, and then subsection of this is create 3 specific goals for each of those categories, because again, you can focus on 3 things. It's not challenging. Now, goal setting needs to be specific. It's got to be clear. It's got to be time-based. It's got to be achievable. I mean, I believe in stretch goals, but don't make it. I mean, if I moved here with $0 and was revamping and relaunching my business, to think I could make $1 million in a year, I don't know that that's reasonable. I'm a hard worker, but I don't know that that's reasonable. So I'm not saying play small and set goals right, close to the end of your nose. I am saying set a stretch goal, but don't set it so far that you can't see it. I wish I had an elastic here. I was going, oh, look at that. I usually do have them. Think about your goals in terms of an elastic band, a rubber band. The way I teach my clients to create a vision is you want to create a vision that's so far, I'm going to make sure you can see it, so far that you can feel the tension on it. That's a good thing, but not so far that it's going to snap. Because if you can't see it and it's going to snap and it's going to destroy, you're going to snap. So that makes no sense. So do have a stretch goal so that you can feel some of the tension. I call it positive anxiety. You can feel some of the tension. And then get to work. All right, 3 categories. And what I do is write them down in index cards, and I put them on colors that match my life balance wheel. That's the way my mind works. So I carry these with me all the time. And when I am stepping into a situation that might be a stretch goal, then I just look at my goals and decide, this is what I want. This is what I intend for my life. This is where I'm going to go and grow, and make sure there's a growth factor to it. So as far as happiness goes, well, let's go with health, wealth, happiness for me. You want to make them specific. So for me, one of my health goals is to, because I'm into physical fitness and weightlifting, and I want to strengthen my core, and I want to be very toned and have good bone density, because I don't want to be an old woman walking around with a walker or with osteoporosis or anything, and it's all preventable. So I know that. What do I need to do? So one of my health goals with one of my accountability buddies, and get yourself an accountability buddy, because that's what makes it fun. And so Kathleen Gage is my accountability buddy and has been for years. Now we're talking about some fitness goals over the next many months. And one is to find and schedule and get to and train for a Tough Mudder race. Now, I think there's some mini ones out there, and that's what we're going to start with. So we may do one in Toronto near me, and we might do one in Portland near her. And so that's one of the goals, is to get the dates and then do the training and then go do it and have fun together. So that's one of the health goals. One of the other ones is, I just had my annual physical. Now, there's a lot of diabetes in my family, and my blood count, my blood sugar was a bit high, and it's pre-diabetic. It's not dangerous or of major concern, but my doctor and I monitor that. So one of my goals is to reduce my blood sugar count by 0.2. And I know that was specific, and I work with a nutritionist, so I know what I need to do. And so sometimes it's genetic, and I'm fighting genetics on that, but a lot of it is nutritional, environmental, and I have control of that. And so I'm also involved health-wise in a beta project with Isagenix. Now, that's one of the health and wellness companies that I have now become connected with. I've used the products and programs for 2 years. People look at me and go, oh my gosh, what are you drinking? What are you smoking? Not smoking anything, but the Isagenix products have made a huge difference in my life. I had been working out with a trainer over a 2-year period, 3 times a week. Some of you have seen that on social media, 3 times a week for an hour each time, very intense. And it was over a period of 2 years, and I looked at him and I said, nothing's changing. Like, what, do I need to amputate? And he said, no, it's your nutrition. That's not my nutrition. What are you talking about? I worked for Weight Watchers for 8 years. I know nutrition. Ever talk to yourself that way? Or do you hear people talk to you that way? Well, I didn't know nutrition. Things change. And so he sent me on my merry way and said, you need to talk to my friend Jeff, who's connected with Isagenix. He's a holistic nutritional health coach. I might not be getting the title right here, Lisa. I know you're going to be listening. So he said, go talk to Jeff about Isagenix products. Try them for 30 days. I said, I don't want to do any of that shake stuff and cleansing or detoxing, whatever. And he said, you're going to try it for 30 days. Anything is possible in 30 days. So just do it. So I did. Wow, what a difference. And so I'm hooked. I'm involved. I use it, goes into my body every day. And what a difference. And my doctor loves the results too. So I'm involved in a beta project. It's a 4-week project. I'm excited. I expect some great results. I intend to become the poster child for this project. And so that's part of my health goals. So those are specific, all right? Now, when it comes to wealth, again, you want to be thinking in terms of both active revenue and passive revenue for those of you who are in business. For those of you who are employed or perhaps even retired, you need to look at how are you managing your money? What is your money mindset? Is it around the fact, I mean, hear stories all the time, people winning the lottery and then poof, the money's gone. It comes back to your money mindset. Everything comes back to mindset, people. I've studied mindset for over 20 years, and I study human behavior. It all comes down to mindset. So when we talk about wealth, which I put on a green card, pretty green, when we talk about wealth, then what is your money mindset? Are you a spender? Are you a saver? I teach my clients to make the money, right? That's so important. Make your money. Learn how to manage your money. Then you want to learn how to grow your money. You want to learn how to invest your money and then learn how to give money away. That's a 4-step process. So take a really good look at your wealth mindset, your wealth habits, your money habits. Take a look at your debt, your good debt, your bad debt, and start to set some goals around this, because poof, before you know it, you're going to be 67. So I have a really great financial advisor. She's walked in my shoes, and so she knows my story. She's lived my story, and she coaches and guides me accordingly. So take a really good look at what you want when it comes to wealth and money in your world, and look to living a life of financial freedom. So when it comes to wealth, part of what I'm creating right now as I continue my business coaching, my lifestyle coaching, I have added and become connected with Isagenix. Full transparency here. And so part of my goals, specific goals, is to grow my Isagenix business to a powerful, productive, successful, happy team of 10 members. If this appeals to you and you have a business mindset and you want to add some revenue or some income or some cash to your bank account, and you feel you would be in alignment with the way I work, message me and we can talk. So I want to grow my team to 10 powerful members, and I want to grow the business to 6 figures by February. So see how specific that is? You need to be specific. Most people aren't, because that gives them, it allows them to cop out on their goals. People say, well, I keep my goals in my head. Well, good for you. I can't do that. There's too much going on in my head. So you want to be clear and specific and put a date on your goals. Hold yourself accountable and get yourself an accountability buddy who will hold your feet to the fire. I have a business coach and I have a speaker coach. So they hold me accountable and help me and guide me, support me and cheer me on. I have a health partner, accountability buddy, I already mentioned, Kathleen. And also I go to Jeff, who's my trainer and knows everything possible about nutrition and fitness and so on. I want to live my best life in the upright, smiling position. So if and where and when you need help with any of this, get help, get professional help. There are great coaches out there who can help you. So the other thing is on my business goal, my wealth goals, is I'm starting up a new podcast with Kathleen, a little bit of a reveal here because we haven't made it public. But Kathleen is in her mid-60s, and we get so many questions from people saying, what is it you guys are doing and how do you keep going? And you look so young and vibrant and energetic, and we actually can run circles around many of you. So I asked her if she would want to be part of my new podcast series called #NewFaceOf60. And we are going to change the story of what it is to look like and feel like someone in your 60s. That's our mission, that's our movement, and that's a big part around my wealth goals, because I am going to invite people to come on the Isagenix journey with me. It's that pure and simple. Okay, so you get a sense now around the health goals, the wealth goals, very specific, very clear. Are there other things I could be doing? Of course there are. I could learn different skills when it comes to fitness. I could be reading different books. Pick 3 things and stay focused. The rest will be out there later. All right, the happiness. Now, again, 3 items under the happiness goal. One for me is to attract a life partner / companion. I'm ready. I've been divorced for a number of years. I've done the work. I would like to have a companion, and preferably, this is how I call them, an outdoor playmate. I want to attract somebody who loves to go hiking and biking. See how specific I am? I want someone who's no taller than 6 feet, because I don't want to go around with a kink in my neck for the rest of my life. This is personal preference. I want someone who's fit, somebody who's financially independent, entrepreneurially minded, preferably, so they understand my world and my life. I want somebody who has a happy spirit, somebody who's family oriented. I want someone who wants to go for a latte on a Saturday afternoon, or somebody who wants to go for dinner, a healthy dinner. So I know what I'm looking for. I'm ready, and I'm putting it out there. I'm looking for a companion or a life partner. I am intending to FaceTime with my grandkids in Alberta weekly. Now, we've been doing it off and on. I've been to Alberta visiting. Not enough. I was just there recently. My granddaughter is 19, towers over me, and I look at her and think, how did this happen?
How did you come from a cuddly little grandbaby to a beautiful, successful, smart 19-year-old? Time flies. So I intend to FaceTime with my grandkids weekly. And then lastly, in the happiness scale, my buddy Linda Claire Puig is talking about going back to Argentina in January. I want to and intend to generate and bring in more cash flow to make that possible for me to go spend that month again with her. It's a working, playing kind of opportunity, more play, because Buenos Aires is amazing. And so those are my goals. 3 items under the 3 categories. They're clear, they're emotionally charged, they're uplifting, they're a stretch for me. Some of them are quite a stretch for me on the whole dating thing. That's, that's different. And there we go. And we have 15 minutes left. And so they are stretch goals, and they need to be stretch goals. And you want to get excited about it. Listen, the Isagenix part of my business, it's like a startup again. I haven't done startup for 10, 11 years. So it takes me back to ground zero. It takes me to an area where I'm stretching my comfort zone, where I'm learning new things, where I'm in environments with different people. And so it'd be easy for me to say, yeah, I'll just stick with my coaching and my professional speaking. I know how to do it. I'm good at it. I make good money. I'll just ride that wave. But here's the thing. You need to figure out and find out what really speaks to you. You need to figure out what breaks your heart in life, or what really causes you excitement around the fact that, or maybe it's something that ticks you off. I don't know. Something that gets you out of bed in the morning, something that brings you to life. I'm tired of being around so many people who are tired, who are overwhelmed, who are overextended. I'm tired of that. Life is short. And that's why I have that written all over my vision board. Life is short. Some of you know my very best friend, my soul sister, almost my sister, died last March. Broke my heart. And the hardest part was the 4 to 5 months leading up to her passing. I was with her a lot. We spent a lot of time together. She was divorced. She lived alone. Yes, she has adult children. This was a long journey of chemo appointments, surgeries. I moved in to support her during some of this time. The moral of this story is we had a lot of deep conversations. I mean deep, not superficial. We talked, and we talked about what was important. I made a promise to her because she asked me, and she said, you've been really great at being out there and inspiring and teaching people, and entrepreneurs, on how to make money, how to start over, how to build a startup. She said, it's time for you to switch that, because she was an entrepreneur. She had to sell her business 2 years into the cancer journey. She had to sell her business to roll up her sleeves and do the battle of her life, which she lost. And I said to her, what is your number one regret? And she said, buying that business. That business killed me. Saturday mornings when a bunch of us would go for breakfast, she'd go to work. There's always something that had to be done. And so I'm not going to belabor this. My point to you is this. Life is short. Create a vision for your life, because before you know it, you're either going to get hit with an illness, you're going to lose somebody significant in your family and have regrets about, oh, I didn't spend enough time with them. You're going to have regrets for your own life where you think, oh, someday I'm going to go to Argentina. I want to help you, encourage you, challenge you to take charge of your life. So how do we make this happen now? I made the promise to Wanda I was going to start a movement, and it's Wanda's Legacy. And I am going to get out on stages, podcasts, TV shows, live stream trainings, whatever I can do to help people live their best life starting today. All right, so what does that mean with respect to these cards? That means the final step is you take these goals and you move them into your calendar. So for example, Argentina in January, it's on the calendar, but I need to back it up because I've got to figure out the budget for it and back it up. And right now, as of October 18th, figure out how much do I need to generate? And this is not dipping into savings or anything. How much do I need to generate starting today to take me through to the plane ticket, the Airbnb, and the spending money that I want and need in Argentina? Those dates are going on my calendar, and I'm going to hold myself accountable, which Linda will do as well. The FaceTime with the grandkids, I'm going to reach out to them and say, what day and time can we commit to having these conversations, whether they're 5 minutes or 50 minutes? So my point is, get a calendar. Now, yes, I have one on my phone, which is great, but the other visual, this is on one part of the wall. The achievements are behind me. A powerful message is right there. I don't know if I can turn this so you can see it. See my wall calendar there? Yeah, my wall calendar. Go get one at Staples. Should have closed that office door. That's all my Isogenics backpacks hanging there. Get a wall calendar. Put these goals on your calendar. The first thing that goes on my calendar is my birthday, because I cross that off. It's a national holiday. I take responsibility. I know when it comes every year, and I plan it out. I plan my own party. I intend to have a certain celebration in a certain place with certain people. Anything else is a bonus. Somebody else shows up with a gift or a cake or ice cream in August. That's a bonus. I plan my own party. No more regrets, no more disappointments. I take charge. The next part is I book off Christmas. And I book off a two-week time frame. And in fact, this year, I'm going to a fabulous place in Pennsylvania for cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. So I'm very excited about that. We need a break. You've got to recharge. My phone is dying. I need to charge it. You need to charge yourself. I do it regularly, and I highly recommend you do it too, because that's why you're stressed and overwhelmed. So take these items and move them into your calendar. A few success tactics. Share your goals with somebody who can support you, as I have with Kathleen with my business goals, I have fitness goals, as I have with Linda on my travel goals. Only share it with people who will support you, because there's so many people out there who are going to say to you, who do you think you are? You're never going to accomplish that. And listen, you say it to yourself. Some of you might want to come to Argentina with me in January. And so you put the goal out there, and then you look at it and it scares you, because you start thinking about, how am I going to do that? You don't need to know the how. Keep the goal out there and become bigger than what scares you. Learn to get past the fear points in there, but hold on to the vision and the goal, and get your butt to Argentina if that's something that you want. Many people will back up the goal based on how much money I have, how many resources I have, who's around me, who's telling me I can't do it. Stop that. This is your life. Stop that. You really want to go to Argentina, or whatever the vision is, you make the decision, and only share it with people who are going to support you. There are too many people who will shoot you down because they don't know how to dream big. So that's one piece of it. The second part of it is, remember the elastic band. I don't even know where it went now. Remember the elastic band? Create enough tension, and then learn to ask for help. Ask for help. I was so lucky to go to Argentina last time with Linda, because she had been there. So she knew what airline to recommend. She knew how to coach me and guide me on getting the taxis at the airport, because it's a different process than here. So she guided me through that. Ask for help on what you want. People are very generous in wanting and willing to help. So those are some of my success tactics. It's, well, we've got like 7 minutes left, but I'm going to wrap it early because I really don't have much more to say, but let me wrap it up. Life balance wheel, scale of 1 to 10. Connect the dots, color it in. Pick 3 categories, move it to your vision board. Go get a bunch of magazines, pick pictures that will support those 3 categories, make them vibrant, make them emotionally charged, make them exciting, and add some words that go with it, and date everything. And again, put that vision board where you can see it on a daily, hourly, weekly, all the time basis. Keep it in front of your face. What we think about, we move towards, and we become like. And listen, you might need to change your circle of 5, because as you grow and become your best self and live your best life, there's people around you you're going to outgrow. And that's okay. It's okay. You want to be around people who are going to lift you up and celebrate you. So you have the vision board. Now, from the vision board, you're going to go and create your specific goals on the index cards, make them clear, specific, precise, emotionally charged, and a deadline, a date. Do not abort on yourself. Once you've got that, then that information must go on your calendar, and hold yourself accountable and get an accountability buddy. Those are my simple steps. Not complicated. It's actually quite easy. It becomes rhythmic, just like playing a guitar or driving a new car or learning a new fitness workout. It's all quite rhythmic. And here's the thing. Your life is your responsibility. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is up to you. It's up to you to take charge. Now, if you have any questions, you want any help, you want some support, you want some coaching, message me, because that's what I do and it's what I do best. And I'd be very happy to be on your team. All right. Thanks for being here, everyone, and enjoy the process. Life is short. Go and have fun. Bye, everyone.